Sorry, Tom.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've got Darren Little here with the MLM Superheroes, and we are live right now on an international broadcast, broadcasting to all four corners of the world. Guys, what I wanted to do today is I wanted to bring together a group of top income earners, peak performers, to talk to you a little bit about what do you do the moment that you start your Xplocial business to get your business into what I call rapid fire momentum, where you break inertia and you start to hit critical mass coming right out of the gate, so that within between 30 and 90 days that you can create a six-figure yearly residual income. Now, I was very fortunate when I got involved with this program. Guys, when I saw this for the very first time, and I realized that I only needed 88 people to be able to make $100,000 per year in residual income. Guys, I thought that that was breaking news alone, okay? Just that alone, that you only need a team of 88 people to make a six-figure yearly residual income with Xplocial. So what we're going to be talking about tonight is really what I call a category creator. This is a company that hands down has no competition in the marketplace whatsoever, and we're talking about a company that's really hitting a niche market, especially in these times of economic uncertainty. Xplocial markets a lifetime membership savings discount program, and you pay initial down payment, you pay 23 payments, and you own that membership for a lifetime and for your children's lifetime. Now, here's what I can tell you about Xplocial. We save an average family of 4 people over $9,200 per year. Now, guys, that's whether or not you recruit anybody into the program or not. I'm talking about just product value. So if you were to get involved with Xplocial over the course of a 10-year period of time, you would save your family over $92,000 per year. Now, a lot of people say that a penny saved is a penny earned. Well, when you're talking about $9,200 per year, for the average family, guys, that's like getting a pay raise, right? Now, when you take that over, amortized over a 10-year period of time, guys, that can pay for your kids' college or university with $92,000. So we're talking about significant savings with this program. We're talking about thousands and thousands of retail outlets throughout North America, and name brands, guys, name brand products. Things like 50% off of the Men's Warehouse, or employee discount pricing off of all Panasonic products, or all Hewlett-Packard products, or all Office Depot products. I'm talking about saving over $3,000 if you're purchasing a brand new car, or if you're financing a home and getting a home purchase, over $3,000 savings as an Xplocial member. Guys, this is a lifetime savings program that we're currently marketing. So, you know, what we're talking about here, guys, is something that's not on trial, okay? Xplocial has a massive amount of value, and in our first year in test marketing, we've already proven with multiple people as young as in their mid-20s, that have been able to create a six-figure yearly residual income with our program within 30 to 90 days. So what I want to do here, guys, is I want to reach out to the panel here, and I'm going to start with what we call our grandfather of the field, our granddaddy of the network marketing, Mr. Tom Westrick. Are you there, sir?
I am, Darren. Can you hear me okay?
I can, and Tom, you got this really unique feature where it always looks like you're on the phone. I gotta tell you, you really got that mastered, because it looks like you're always on the phone when you get on one of our Hangouts. So welcome to our call.
Actually, I'm having trouble with my wife's iPad. I was trying to be, and this is a desktop without a camera, so I guess that's a here. But nice to see everybody.
Fantastic. Tom, maybe you can, just share with the panel, first of all, a little bit about your background. Where did you come from in business? And I want you to talk about, some of the similarities of really any type of business that you might get off the ground. And how is that similar to what action steps you took when you first started with your Xplocial business?
All right, sure. Yeah, Darren, you probably have 10 times more networking experience than I do, but I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I think I started in 6th grade by selling the most candy bars. But I started out as a CPA and then got in the airplane business, and I got in the video business. In the middle of all that, I had a good friend who had to declare bankruptcy, and he said, "Hey, Tom, can you help me build this business?" I guess that was his way of getting me involved in a telecommunication firm, and jumped in there, and before I knew it, I was a regional vice president and one of the top earners in the company. But I had some strategic moves that got me to that point. So I've always been a builder. When I built the video stores, I started with one, and all of a sudden I had a dozen. But what I learned from that experience, and it's exactly the same in network marketing, is the first store I sort of took my time and opened it up. I said, I got to get profitable quicker. And the second store, I just put more energy into it and spent more money on advertising. Did all the things to get it successful early on. And it's the same way with networking. You got to come out of the box or out of the starting gate quick, get some good people involved, and put some extra energy in up front, because it exponentially just grows that much faster.
Fantastic. I know, Tom, that a lot of people that get into a home-based business, into a network marketing type of a business model, a lot of people, they sort of have a blocker, a fear blocker, because they don't really know what to say or how to reach out to their contacts without getting rejected in any way. And I know that you've had some very, very good success with the network marketing business model. Give us an example. Like, what would you do if you reached out to a person? What do you focus on? What do you talk about when you reach out to your contacts?
Well, obviously we all try to connect first, build that relationship. And fortunately, I had enough people that I knew from way back when from various sources, and I could just call them up, chat a little bit about what's going on with their life, where they're going, how their kids are doing, and look. And then everybody would always say, "Well, what are you up to now, Tom?" Because I've done a number of different things. So when now the video business is over, what are you doing? I'm glad you asked. I got involved, and then I'd lead into what I'm doing, not pitch it. Just tell them, it's an interesting, business. I can work from home, very easily to make money in, very low startup cost. Tell them all the benefits of the business, and then some of the value. Now we have a lot of value to talk about, so, I can talk about value. My brother just went to Disney World, and he saved more than 2 months of dues in the business I'm involved in. But I try to keep it on a very simple basis, not hype people. Say, listen, everybody should have a home-based business just from the tax benefits.
Right. Absolutely.
You take the savings and the tax benefits, and there's just no reason why somebody, I write off my cell phone bill, a good part of it, and as well as my cable bill and anything associated with the business. I have a couple of local people that I go to lunch with that are in the business. They're not big builders, but they allow me to pick up the tab for lunch.
Oh, there you go. Guys,
I'm just very laid back about the whole thing. I don't pressure anybody. I write I've had a lot of people that I've signed up off Facebook, but I try to write things on Facebook. That's why I tell people to copy what I write, and I end up getting phone calls. I posted yesterday that I have a good friend who's a diamond wholesaler, which is true. So if you're in the market for a diamond, let me know. Well, looks like I wanted to get 2 Xplocial reps out of that. And both called to ask about the diamonds, and then they all of a sudden they're asking me, what do I do on the internet?
Fantastic.
Ended up sending the link to both of them on the first call.
Wow. And guys, you know that Tom brings up a really point here, a really good point, is that one of the things that I will tell you from my own networking is when I reach out to my contacts, it's very casual. There's no hype, there's no pitch. My whole conversation really is about the other person. I really want to find out what's going on in their life, what's happening in their world, and all I do after I ask them that is I listen. And during that time of them talking about their own life, I get an opportunity to do what's called building rapport, getting a connection. So I'm not pitching them on anything. So I think that the most important thing to understand about networking in general is that I typically go through those people to find out who do they know. Who do they know that's in transition? Who do they know that's in between careers? Who do they know that's currently underpaid at their job that might potentially be a person that's qualified to head up an international expansion for a business? Guys, what I want to do right now is I want to go over to Calais Beeman. And, you know, Calais, maybe you can just unmute yourself there. But, you know, Calais, you've had some great success with our program. I know that you've had just tremendous savings off of Office Depot with about 23% off on your bill there. You had an incredible savings on your Las Vegas trip, 50% off on your car wash. Maybe you can just share how much money did you save on your Las Vegas trip?
Yeah, you know, I've been finding myself pretty much nowadays, before I do anything, tapping into my Xplocial back office to see if there's any way I can save, because it turns out that everything that I want, there's some kind of discount for. And so, you know, I did that when I found myself out of paper one morning, and I'm like, okay, well, let me go see where I could get office supplies, and found that we had anywhere from 15 to 30% off of Office Depot. So I just got a bunch of office supplies and saved 22% off of that. Went to Las Vegas, and I saved. It was for a weekend, which was really, really good. A weekend in Las Vegas, for my hotel, airfare, and meals. I saved a total of $274 combined off of all that. So that was just, I was excited because I was able to share some of that with some of my friends, and and it was just a lot of value. That everything that I wanted was right there to be able to save. And then I came back and found that my car was like got totally like LAXed with dust and everything, and I was like, well, let's take this to the car wash, and ended up getting 50% off of my car wash. And so really there is so much value in our program. All you have to do is go back there and look, and any time that you have something that you want to save on, there's something back there, whether it's meals, travel. I'm going on going up to visit my parents in Michigan over Labor Day, and I've got a deal on a rental car that I need to have while I'm there. And so there's just the value here is just remarkable. So all you got to do is just go back there and just find out what it is you need to save on, and save. Make shopping. I always like to shop anyway, but it seems to be a lot more fun now.
And guys, I want you to really think about this in comparison to, say, other network marketing companies that are out there, or other direct sales opportunities that are out there. So here's Calais, and she logs into the back office. Just between her Office Depot trip, her Las Vegas getaway, and her car wash, she saved well over $300 within a period of 1 month. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I can tell you this, that do you know that 50% of the divorces in North America could be stopped with an extra $300 to $500 per month? Just that savings that Calais got at $300. Now, keep in mind, the full month isn't even over yet. She also got savings on groceries and other things that she's been getting for just personal needs. She also got a TV. She got a discount on her television, because we get employee rates, guys, on all Panasonic products, right? So what I'm talking about here with our program is something where whether or not you're building a business or recruiting people, you're actually making an income that you would not normally be making just because you're an Xplocial member. And in this particular case, Calais made $300, over $300, just by being an Xplocial member just in this particular month. Now, I want to reach out here quickly over to Jeffrey Cook, and we got into a millionaire mastermind session the other day, talking about the types of people that you want to bring into your business. Now, here's what I can tell you guys as far as rolling out a company into an international market. You basically need 6 or 8 international expansion leaders. Those are people that have a list, they have a relationship with the list, they're not scared to contact the list, and they have some level of marketing skills, leadership skills. They maybe have managed people underneath them in a corporate capacity. They're typically what I call the 8s, 9s, and 10s. They've had some level of success in their life. Typically, they're making $70,000 or higher, $100,000, $200,000 in a year. Those are more what you call the cream of the crop, the upper echelon of people. Now, I know that after we had a chance to have our Millionaire Mastermind, things really seem to shift quite substantially for you, Jeffrey, and I know that you're pulling in some really high caliber individuals, realtors, mortgage brokers, insurance agents. Talk to us a little bit about those strategies on what are you doing to attract some of those higher echelon of people that already have success.
Well, thanks, Darren. I will tell you that I went to LinkedIn and just put in an ad, which I copied you on. As soon as I had posted that ad, I had immediately had a contact from a real estate developer who was, as he put it, kind of in a transition. And this person not only had himself, but he had a complete contact list of literally 450 8, 9, and 10s. And he and I are getting together on Saturday to hopefully consummate the deal for him to come in on the Fast Start Premium program. So with that in mind, we've had a conversation. I will also tell you that I found a very strong market, and it's one that you wouldn't think of, and that is in the religious sector of pastors. And the reason why I say this is because pastors tend to know people who are in transition. Pastors have a tremendous relationship sector because that is, that's what they do. They are on a relationship basis. It doesn't make any difference which denomination is, but they always know somebody who's in transition, who is perhaps a corporate leader, might have been a vice president, and they know of it because they bring up prayers for them in the course of their Sunday meetings. That has been a wealth of information for me. The other ones happen to be for the ones that work for life insurance companies and other insurance companies, because that's a tough market right now to be in insurance, especially with the differences that we have. You find a lot of number 8s, 9s, and 10s who are not afraid to call on people because that's what they have to do. They have to pick up the phone. They have to connect. They have to build a relationship to be able to even get to the point where they can possibly have that person as a prospect to be able to go. And I've been able to amass a list. Right now it's over 5,000.
Wow. Fantastic. Now, guys,
it is a great group.
I want to just talk about breaking inertia when you come out of the gate, because I can tell you that typically when I roll out any type of company, as my baseline, guys, right? My baseline, I want to have 25 connections in any given day. Now, if I'm really on a roll, guys, and I'm really reaching out to a lot of people to break inertia, right? On some days, I will have 75 connections in a particular day. So if you look at 25 connections as the baseline, times 30, that's 750 connections in the course of the first 30 days. So I can tell you that for me, when I came out of the gate, now keep in mind, not every single conversations that you have are going to be brand new. I mean, some of those people I may have talked to 2 or 3 times, but I can tell you that in my very first 30 days, I had 1,000 conversations. Now, like I said, they may not have all been with brand new people, right? Some people I talked to 2 or 3 times. But guys, if you want to get to, within 30 days, to get to a $10,000 monthly residual income, and know that by the time that you're at the end of your first year, you're going to have $120,000 for the year, that's the type of front-end inertia that you really need to take as a leader if you're going to get into momentum, right? I call it breaking inertia, coming out of the gate with a massive amount of action, a massive amount of contacts, so that you can get yourself into what I call critical mass, where now it's your team. Now now part of your 25 to 75 connections are going to be your people and your people's people, right? So,
Right.
you know, we've got people tuning in right now, dozens of people, and people that will be watching this later. Guys, those are all exposures. So you've got to take into account, this is one of the reasons why I use YouTube videos and I use Google Hangouts, because this does what's called cloning, right? So you as a leader, once you understand about providing value to a marketplace, you can clone yourself and actually be doing value-based training and webinars while you're sleeping, while you're working at work, while you're working on other projects, and while you're on vacation, you're still working. And that's the power of the internet. What I want to do here is I want to reach out quickly to Sarah Olney. Sarah, you know, here you are, you're over in the UK. You know, you've had some great breakthroughs going through our quantum physics training and our millionaire mentoring. I want you to talk a little bit, Sarah, about the shift that took place for you, the reversal of the polarity, so to speak, where you weren't getting any rejection at all. There was no rejection when you were talking to people or reaching out to people. So welcome to the call.
Yeah, thank you, Darren. Well, I'm just coming up to my first year anniversary with Xplocial, 24th of August, and it's been an amazing year. And the most valuable thing has undoubtedly been the value of that millionaire mindset training, because I think it's about 90% of it. You've got to get the mindset right. And sometimes I read your posts and they say if you're broke emotionally, you'll still be broke in your bank account. So the training is hugely important, and until you've sorted that out, you won't consistently be able to form those strong connections and have those natural casual conversations and people to be attracted to you. So I just kept listening and listening and watching and watching, and every time I listened and watched, I used to think, yeah, I get this. And my day job is trading time for money. I'm a marketeer by profession, so I'm naturally on the internet the whole time. And I thought, well, I can do this network marketing. I want to be free. I want the flexibility that offers. And I still couldn't get this attraction marketing thing. It's really because I'd come out of corporate sales. And that's something that you teach very clearly, that unless you can get your team to duplicate, then you know they're just going to fade away. So it's not about that corporate sales technique at all. It's an incredibly casual form. And I've heard you say often that if you used to making sales in that way, often successful salespeople cannot make the transition to network marketing. It's a very different thing. So I thought, okay, I'm determined to do this, consistent. I've set clear goals and objectives. I know of no other opportunity where only 88 people you can be on a residual income of $100,000 a year. You know, 25 conversations a day. I only need to talk to 8 people a day to achieve 88 people to make that 100,000. So I had the clear goals, and I've got 5,700 followers on LinkedIn, nearly 5,000 friends on Facebook. And I still couldn't get the attraction marketing. So I just thought, okay, I'm just going to carry on listening and listening and learning and learning. And every time I thought I got it, I didn't. And then one day I was having yet another conversation with someone, and I just knew that they wanted to join me. Absolutely just knew it in my heart. And I panicked, and I thought, where's Darren? I need to know what to say. You know, it was really funny, and I thought, this is ridiculous. You know what he says. Just follow what Darren says, because by then I just knew it so well anyway. So I just, and this is where I think sometimes you can slip back into ego, can't you? Because I remember that moment so clearly, and I always will. And I thought to myself, just remember what Darren says. And I literally followed that. And they said, yep, okay, I'm going to do it. And I thought, well, we'll see. And then I got an email on the next day, the Saturday or Sunday, and they're joined at the Premier Fast Start, and they're on board. And that was the breakthrough. And after that, it was just, oh, I get it. You know, and when people come to me now for that breakthrough mentoring, and I'll say to them, just hang with me, just follow the flow, and I'll show you how it works. And if they trust the process, then at the end of it, the light goes on, and they go, oh my God, I get it. And it's apparent with quite a lot of people that they just haven't listened to a lot of what the training says. So if you're struggling with the breakthrough, just keep getting into the subconscious, because you know, now I could go to the theatre and do a stage performance, and I could repeat, you know, everything that Darren says, because I haven't actively learnt the lines. It's just embedded in the subconscious. But it did take me quite a long time to get there.
You know, and the interesting thing here, guys, and I will tell you, is that, you know, because this business model, you know, it's like being an international recruiter and talent scout. Now, I can tell you this. If I am a person that's placing people into corporations, and there's other executives that are currently in corporations, I don't give them a call and try and pitch them on why there's something better over here. That's not what corporate recruiters do, guys. What corporate recruiters do is all they want to do is they want to build rapport with you. They want to get a connection. They want to get you to laugh or get you engaged in some way, change your state. And their goal, truly, is to find out what's going on in your life and to find out whether or not you're happy along the path that you're on. There's no sales pitch in that, guys. That's casual conversation. Now, they may have something over here. They may have something over here. And they may say, hey, Tom, just out of curiosity. I mean, if there was something over here that could offer you a significantly more money than what you're getting right now at your corporate job, I mean, is that something that might be of interest? They fish. They get a little bit of, you know, response from that person, right? And they start to build up their roster of talent. Once they build up their roster of talent, now they go out here to this other area and they get a few offers in place, and now they go back to their roster and now they've got some ammo. But they fish first. They get the relationship. They get the connection. They want to find out what's happening in their life, what's their vision, their goal, their passion, their dream. That has nothing to do with anything else. It's all about that other person. So what I typically tell people that get into this industry, I say, you know what? Picture yourself as an international recruiter and talent scout, that you're already being paid $250,000 per year, and your job is to find 6 or 8 international expansion leaders that can roll out that company expansion. And that's what you get paid $250,000 a year for. If you put yourself into that type of mindset, guys, if you put yourself into that type of mindset, you start to actually attract a much higher caliber of people, those 8s, 9s, and 10s on that roster. What I want to do here, guys, I want to go out here to Tony Cohen. Now, Tony, you know, you've had some great success in business in a variety of different industries. Maybe you can also share what was the shift that took place for you from conventional business over into relationship marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. For the last, my background essentially is, or was, training people in direct sales, and it's probably over 100,000 people, and it was always done on the day. And when I walked out of Wall Street 2 years ago or so, over 2 years ago, I got involved in a networking business, and I took that approach. And yeah, granted, I don't know what I'm in, top 5 in the other company, I don't know. But the amount of people I sponsored, you're talking about a team of 88, I sponsored that on my own. And I had always in the top of the retail, but in reality, it was overly complicated. It wasn't right for the market. And this was a total shift. And, you know, the term attraction marketing, 100%, 100%. Am I on this camera here? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
100% of my business, everything, has come inbound. Every single thing. So, how? I don't, and you'll notice if you watch my Facebook, I very rarely even mention the company. I put enough content out there where people actually say, what is it you do? I can't figure it out. You live in one of the most expensive cities in the world. You hang out in coffee shops and restaurants all day. You never appear to do any work. And then, how does this thing work of yours? So the attraction is, Jeff, can you just mute yourself, mate? Jeff, can you? Is your dog died?
You sure you don't want to hear my dogs?
Not really. So, but it was a complete turnaround. But you know, and we've had this discussion before, Darren. Even in the old business, I had my guys in the old business following your posts because of the content, and as a result of that, my content's always been pretty good. Some of it is a little bit close to the wire, so I've kind of trimmed it a little bit on that. But there's enough of the, you know, keep people thinking, post often, post frequently, but it's a hook, nothing more than that. It's a welcome change as well when people call and, you know, what is this thing you do? Or sometimes they'll call and they'll dance around it. And you know why they're calling, you know why they're doing it, and they'll dance around it, and there'll be a conversation that goes on for a while. And I don't lead it at all. It's for me, it's a complete 180 in terms of, you know, for 2 years there in a networking business, I became that annoying guy in the room that everyone tried to avoid, and now it's the opposite. So, you know, what's the secret? I did a video the other day about social media marketing. I've just done another one today, and you hit on a few things here about category creators. So I put a lot of content out there. The thing you mentioned there about the international recruiter and talent scout, so I changed my job title on Facebook. I've had 3 people today inbox me, and one of them was on a Skype with this wonderful lady from England. I was on a Skype with within half an hour. She's going to be on our millionaire thing tomorrow. And she said, what is this? You're an international recruiter and talent scout. What are you exactly looking for? But something else I took from that millionaire thing the other day is I'm now really targeting who I'm aiming at. So if you're, you know, I kind of live my life as an open book, fully transparent through Facebook. And I've got maybe 100,000 connections in total with everything. And I just live it as an open book. So I can throw enough hooks out there that whoever is interested, to the point now where a guy this morning, he said, well, I can start at this level, but I really want to start at the Platinum Fast Start. I said, well, I only actually get into business with people at Platinum Fast Start, because here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to show you how to create your list with a memory jogger, and then once you've done your list, I'm going to show you how to connect with all those people on the list, and then we've done that, I'm going to show you every step of the way on that, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to launch your business with you. So we did this with Mike in England this week. We're doing it on Friday with Stefan down in Atlanta. Zachary up in BC has got one scheduled, I think, for Monday. So that's what I'm doing. I'm spending my time on that now. And what what resonated the other day was, if I'm going to do that with someone, I'm going to do it with someone that's in those 6 or 8 people, because what I was finding is I literally never get a chance to make a call because of I've been on here, 24 inboxes while we're talking now. They're not all business, but a load of them generally are. So there's a couple of things. The content that goes out there is very, very, I do it by feel. I look at my own wall and I'll think, if it's a bit more, if there's not enough fun in it, I'll throw something funny in there. If it's a bit too many questions or too many multiple choices, so I just look at the feel and I keep it, because everything you put out there creates a different audience. And what I was doing as well is I was, you know, I can have 1,000 conversations a day through my messenger, but I can't follow up on them all. So I just contact people, just as simple house things to connect. Out of that, I get about an 80% response of people saying, great, how are you? I just answer, you know, fantastic, what's new in your life? And get chatting, but I was kind of limited to that. So now I've shifted from that to getting people onto the phone, getting people onto the Skype. And from that point, the connection then becomes even more real, because we're limited through type as to the feel we can get through that. When we get on the phone, there's an even deeper connection. When we get on Skype, this wonderful lady today on Skype, half an hour, I had to get off the phone in a polite way, because I had another call coming in, and we were just talking, really, really connected on so many levels, and there's a total shift, and I leave it with everyone by saying, listen, it might not be a fit for you, I don't know. If it is, hey, we're still friends. Everything's good, and that's what I've, you know, that's the approach I've took. And then to take it to another level, what gets me the most inbound is the video. So I started them with walk rounds, and then I've started doing we started doing the Hangouts. And when I look now and I track my YouTube, which has only been going for maybe a month, there's over 2,000 views, but I've got some of these things that are over 100 views now. And generally the ones that get watched the most are the Hangouts. So when you're saying about cloning, I have messages every single day saying, I've just watched your video. I have no idea which one it is. Which one was it? Oh, the one where you guys were talking. Okay, so I assume it's a Hangout. Or last week I had a guy that's, you know, he's watching. He might be watching this now. I don't chase them down. But he was watching and said, you know, in my life, there's nowhere on earth, there's no way on this planet I would ever sit and watch a YouTube video for an hour and a half. I said, yeah, and? He said, I've just got off your hour and a half video. He said, I couldn't turn it off. And I went, okay. So, and I kind of leave it out there like that. So there's people watching it, and here's the reality with social media. And I've got a whole thing, this is not me plugging my channel, but there's a whole social media training thing from the other day. The reality is 3% of people comment, 7% like, 90% watch. So when I run out, I'm out there, I've not seen someone for a month, 2 months, 6 months, they can tell me exactly what I'm doing in my life. They're watching, they know what's going on. So when that happens, I'm not worried about it. I'm not, you know, I'm in a situation where I've got that, I've never even heard of the term attraction marketing before Sarah mentioned it, but it's that just creating enough great content that people actually want to talk to, that people actually want to pick up the phone, that people want to Skype you, that people want to send you text, that people want to know what you're doing. People want to know. People want to come to New York just to go and hang out in a restaurant because they've seen it. I'm flying to New York, so I want to go in that Mexican place you go in. It's the same with people, and these people obviously are watching. So what I don't do is I don't make it like a billboard at all. I keep people guessing, not in a bad way, because if someone's in that spot, in that transition spot, if someone's in that breaking point spot, they're going to reach out to me. They're going to reach out to me because I'm constantly connected to them. They're reaching out, and it's happening every single day, different people, new people, old people. This week, within 24 hours, I had 3 people that used to work for me in old business somehow found me through Facebook. I'm not hard to find, okay? Type my name in, it's always top. They found me through Facebook, they connected with me. One of them's seen the video, one of them I'm speaking with tomorrow morning. The one that's seen the video is the guy that today I kind of put it off and said, wait till you've got the full money for the platinum, so it's going to be in a few weeks. I said, that's great, then we'll do the whole thing then. The other one I'm speaking with tomorrow morning. The other one actually drove down from Massachusetts, 3.5 hours, hung out with us, sat down, had a coffee, this, that, and the other. Same thing. What's it about? Give her a video. She's on. I think all 3 of them are on that Millionaire Mentoring tomorrow night. And it just keeps streaming in and streaming in and streaming in. And I'm still learning this. But one thing I do know is, for me, my biggest challenge is anyone that's known me any period of my life, they've known I'm usually the guy that trains the guys to sell. So for me to connect with someone, the first thing that flags in their mind is, this guy's going to try and sell me something. So I have to go a complete 180. I have to take it from a total different area and really just work on it. So sometimes I have to take these conversations further than most people who don't have that background. That's my challenge. I have to disassociate myself from my previous background. So the attraction side of it is, you know, keep creating great content. I just put something out there now, and it resonated because you mentioned it before. It was almost as though you'd watched my video, which maybe you do. Okay, I don't know. And it was about category creators. So the whole video was about category creating, and it starts out with, when you're looking to do something, make a change in your life, what do you look at? Well, you can't blame the outside economy for your personal economy. You look at where you're at, what the economy's like, what the uncertainty's like with your job, and 8 out of 10 of you are probably in a bad place economically, 3 months from bankruptcy if you left your job, and that could be going tomorrow, so you better have a plan B in place. And I did maybe an hour on this thing, but there's a few things you mentioned there. The category creation, it was all about that. And this is the reality. This is the reality. People are losing their jobs. We've spoke with a couple of people, I'm not naming them, that 50 years old, got great jobs, but their thing is they don't know where the future is. And they've got kids, and they don't want to be caught out going, oh, crap, you know what? I'm gone in a month. I've got to find a job. And everyone's getting laid off. The jobs are not out there. I've got to find a plan B. So there's 250 million people, or whatever the figure is, just in this country alone that need a plan B. The economy is rocky. Let's leave it at that. I don't know. I'm kind of isolated here in the city where everything seems rosy here. But the feedback I get from people, the economy is rocky, it's uncertainty, there's all kinds of stuff going on out there. The timing for what we're doing couldn't be better. So not only can you build a plan B, but to save 9,000 and change a year, it's not 9,000 a year, because if you had to spend 9,000 a year, you'd have to be earning 14,000. Take the taxes off it. So when we break it down to that, it's a no-brainer. However, the minute we try and sell this stuff, in my personal opinion, we get categorized with everyone else. But we're not in that category. We're a category creator here. We're not in the category of other companies that do all this. Hey, Tony, look at my link, watch my link. I'm just like, just go away, leave me alone, okay? And it's almost, I was that guy. When I look at some old messages and I see the spam I was sending out because I didn't know what to do in my old company, and I took a sales approach. Now I'm just sitting here having fun, and that's it. And as I'm doing this, what we're up to now, no, we're still on 24, but it never ever stops coming in if you put enough great content out there. And the thing that gets the most feedback is the videos, without any shadow of a doubt. And the most direct feedback is just random messages. Hey, seen your video. Most of them are people I'm not friends with. Hey, seen your video, or hey, love your videos, keep the stuff up, and simple as that. So, and we've only just started with these, the value-based webinars. I only did my second one today. Again, great feedback, but the actual Hangouts, I think I've only done 4 of these things, and they're getting 100 views. They're up there, and sometimes I can't shut up, as you can see.
Fantastic. I want to reach out here to Tom Westrick quickly because, guys, so many people talk about all these different bells and whistles and softwares and this and that and the other thing. And I got to tell you, Tom is the top income earner with Xplocial, and he gets into, he gets up on stage and he pulls out his #1 weapon, which is a flip phone that's about 10 years old that, I mean, it's hard to even believe it still works, but he seems to have mastered that flip phone, let me tell you. Tom, maybe you can just share with us, a little bit more about your just using your phone. Talk to us about that.
First of all, it's a heavy duty, which I had to buy after I broke a couple of them from dropping them. So actually, I'm about to go into the 21st century, Darren, with a phone, because I'm getting an unbelievable number of text to landline messages because I work from home. I'm on the landline all day long, and my cell phone's usually in my car, but I'm getting all these text to landline, so I may have to take the big step. But you don't have to be a guru in this business. I mean, Tony's made some great points there. I just keep it simple, keep my messages simple. I want to be the hunted rather than the hunter. So that's I do spend a great deal of time on the phone because I put my phone number all over the place, and people have a lot of questions. They want to know what Xplocial is all about. They love the name, and I try to put value out there. I may be talking about tax benefits one day, and I should look here. I posted a couple things today, got me some great calls. And my team is, a lot of them are reposting the same thing, and I'm getting feedback from them that they're getting calls. It might be value about, how you treat your team or sponsoring. I put a post out today, and mentioned all the red flags from scams. You can't believe the feedback I got from that. Because I'm talking about scams, so obviously they know I'm not about a scam. So they want to, I had several people call me today. What deal are you in that you're red flagging all these other opportunities? I simply posted 7 or 8 things. If they're overseas, they don't have a phone number. If they don't have a physical address in the United States, if they're using a third-party processor and can't take credit cards. Basically I said, run away. Well, it's getting people to call me asking where they should run to.
Exactly.
So, but the phone is good. I want to talk to people. Every time I get a new sponsor, a new pass up, I'm on the phone within a couple hours to chat with that person and find out, what can we do to get their business started right away. Because that's the best time to get to people, not a week later. You want to get them on day one. You want to get them excited. You want to have them put their brother in, their cousin in. And, I'm finding there's so much value. By the way, the YouTube videos that Kelly that you've done were outstanding. I reposted all of them. So thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
But, the value's out there now. And so I'm not afraid to talk to anybody. Even my toughest brother-in-law, I'll say, hey, you need to get into this. Get into what? And then I explain it to him. Because he thinks network marketing is a waste of time. But now that I'm making more money than him, he's changing his attitude.
I love it. I love it. Guys, I want to just go back here quickly here to Jeffrey because, Jeffrey, you, just in the last 60 days have gone through a massive transformation from where you were to where you are right now as a leader. I want you just to touch a little bit on that, and I want you to talk a little bit about how you've dialed up your contacts and your action plan during that time from where it started to where it is now. And that's only in a 60-day period of time, guys, and I want you to really realize that's not a long time. Okay? 60 days is nothing for anybody, right, to go from where Jeffrey was to where he is right now. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, Darren, I appreciate that. Number one, I think I hold the distinction of being the longest tenured network marketer in this company since I started when I was 13 years old on my 13th birthday a week ago. Today, 43 years and a week now. Honestly, it was very easy to do. Once you sat there and you said, I sense there's something in you that's holding you back. I sense there's something in you that's holding you back. I don't know what it is, but you need, it sounds like victimhood, and you need to get out of your victimhood. And in the past, I'd always been able to contact my dad. My dad died in 2002. That ability went away. Because he was taught by Zig Ziglar in 1966, that was the basis of my teaching. And when we talk about relationship building and being able to connect with people, that's the way I was taught. Zig Ziglar talked about having a railroad path between your subconscious and your conscious. And if there was a block in there, you had to find a way to be able to get it out. I was able to do that because I had a block going into my 13th birthday. From that point on, I've supported myself. I mean, paid for college, paid for a wedding, paid for everything. I still worked in the corporate world because my wife came from a very strong work ethic background. So when 2008 hit and the super recession hit, I didn't have Dad to call, and I did not realize that with everything that had happened, that I was starting to fall in that downward spiral that you call, victimhood. And it wasn't until you mentioned to me, and Darren, it wasn't even 60 days ago. I'm thinking it was 45, 50 days ago at most, that you said, you are holding yourself back. Something's wrong, and you need to get it straightened out. And you gave me some advice of what to do. I got it turned around in less than 8 hours because I was able to channel what my dad had taught me, go back and remember. I'm blessed with a photographic memory, so I could remember everything that he taught me. And I felt like, and Darren, I don't want you to take this wrong, and I feel the same way about Tony, I felt like I was talking to my dad again, because the similarities between Tony, yourself, and my dad was 52 when my training started. You guys are both 50. I'm 56. And I mean, I've already been in it 10 years before I met Larry Marcus in another company. And that's when Larry's and my relationship came. It's not by coincidence that we're together 3 times in now 33 years. Tony, what did I tell you? I said, tell me the name of the company and who's behind it. You said Xplocial, and we finally got down to Larry Marcus, and I said, I'm in. I didn't even have to look at the video. The point I'm saying here is, when it's right, it's right. If you have the background to be able to get that blockage off of that railroad track and go from being limited to limitless, the difference is amazing. You noticed it. I remember the next phone call we had after that. You said, Jeff, you still need to do it. And I said, I've done it. And you said, now, Jeff, you need to do it. And I said, well, I have to tell you that I've done it. You remember that call? Yeah. I said, look. And I went on a 10-minute tirade saying, look, I've done this, 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 this. This is what I'm doing. 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 I am a magnet. I am worthy of everything. And I sat there and you said, okay. And you've never questioned me since.
Absolutely.
And from that point on, you knew that I was on track. I didn't derail. The derailing came back. I got fixed by the engineers. You being the engineer. All righty. I'm seeing a real good picture of you here, so I don't know if I'm on or if you're on right now, but that's okay. But with that in mind, and this is for anybody who watches this, gosh darn it, just step out of your way and do whatever it takes. If it takes being in a room for, as you mentioned, a whole weekend and just meditating and going through the emotions, do it. But until you do it, if you say, I only need an extra $25,000 a year, well, guess what? That's all you're going to make. I only need an extra $50,000 a year. Guess what? That's all you're going to make. I am worth all the money in the world and then some. So the sky's the limit for me. Tom, I love you to death, but I'm challenging you. This is an outright challenge right now. That one of these days it's going to be me walking across the stage as the top income earner, and I'll have a flip phone just in honor of you.
I love it. I love it. That's classic.
Bring it on, Jeff.
Got it.
Listen, I love seeing people on my team, and I hope people 10 levels deep make more money than me.
I know. And it's, I will tell you that being with Tony.
Good.
Well, being with Tony Cohen for 2 years, and I will agree with you, Tony, very complex. I mean, you had success in one area. I had success in a totally different area. I think the biggest thing we got out of it is we lost quite a bit of weight and we gained quite a bit more muscle mass, right? That was really the big thing I think we got out of it. Would you agree?
Yeah, that's about it. And I learned how to do it wrong for 2 years.
That's pretty much me too.
And by the way,
yes.
By the way, thanks for telling the world that I'm 50 because Calais thought I was 35. Just throwing it out there.
Calais, you need to have your eyes checked. Do you know how many people? Do you know how many people tell me that I would look so much better if I could grow a mustache, a Fu Manchu, and shave my hair? Do you know how long it took me to grow this mustache? It started in 1978. Do I need to tell you any more? Sir, I couldn't paste hair on my face. I mean, Aren't you glad? Listen, I'll be here all week, okay? I'll be here all week. Get on one of my Hangouts and find out. How many of you guys have watched my Hangout recordings? How many of you have watched it?
I have.
Oh, yeah, this is really good. I like this. Nobody's raising their hands. You have?
Oh, it's supposed to raise the hands? Yeah, I have.
Okay, all right. Do I not get a little intense at the end of it where I'm saying if you save the amount of money that you put into it and it equals out, why wouldn't you do that? And besides, you said one other thing here, Darren, and this is very important. Saving $9,200 in a year, right? So $92,000 over 10 years. There's no taxes on that.
Exactly.
So you can send your child to college and not have to pay taxes on it. Now, that's the other thing. And the ADT, when I did for Neil Kniest, the ADT, price of grass seed, $25. Hose and enclosure, $50. ADT system from Xplocial, $1,200. Priceless. You know the hidden thing we're not even talking about? The 3, 5, 7, or 10% discount on your homeowner's insurance.
Wow.
That's the benefit on the benefit.
I'll tell you, the biggest benefit of everything, guys, is the fact that our attrition rate is going to go down to about 0. People are, and I'm hearing it from people, that they're saving so much money they can justify and rationalize, even if they're not a big recruiter, that they can stay in the business. Because all they got to do is save, once their initial money's paid, and they're only paying it for paying the monthly for 2 years, they get a lifetime membership, and it's $100 a month or so for all the benefits they're getting.
That's exactly what I told a woman down. We're going to be putting Baton Rouge on the map tomorrow, okay, on a premium fast start. That's exactly what I said, because she said, I have one question, and she found out that she had more things scheduled today than she thought she did. So we're on for 2:30 tomorrow afternoon to finish it all up. She said, I have one concern, and this is a woman who's made 100, Darren, you'll love this, 100 phone calls in life insurance each day, connecting with people. 100. Who wouldn't want to have someone like that on their team? I mean, I'm sitting here saying, oh boy, and I said, and tell me what you say, and she's connecting. She's doing what we talk about. She is getting them to laugh, getting the icebreaker, doing that, asking the questions. She knows the question game. She's only the second person in the world who remembers the question game. This was terrific. And she says, what happens if I sign somebody up and they don't do anything? I said, if you teach them how to tap into the savings, they'll continue to stay there. That's all you need to do. I said, if they don't market it, as long as they're tapping in the savings, they have no reason to leave.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guys,
just an observation, Jeff. You call me 100 times a day. What's that all about?
Well, if you would answer your phone, that's a different story. And then how many times do you call me a day, Tony?
Occasionally.
Crickets. Really quiet on the other end.
Well, there's always a call coming in. That's what it is.
Yeah, I've heard that one before.
By the way, I've seen both your videos. You've both done an outstanding job.
Well,
The problem
tomorrow.
is when I start watching all these videos, I get hooked, and I don't get as much phone time in.
Well, starting tomorrow is Dear Mr. Invincible.
It's YouTube crack. It's YouTube crack.
Perfect. Guys, what I want to do here is I just want to say in closing that, you know, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I launch companies. I raise money. I take companies public. And in all the time that I've been in business, over 25 years, I've never yet to come across an opportunity like Xplocial.
Absolutely.
Typically, a business opportunity like this, you actually have to be spending money and recruiting in order to be able to make any type of income. With Xplocial, that's not the case. The moment that you become a member of our program, you get a $9,200 raise, and it continues every single year for the rest of your life. So I want you to think about that in terms of getting a financial raise plus the tax benefits, whether or not you recruit a single solitary person into the business. Calais Beeman's a perfect example. This month alone has put $300 back into her pocket. Forget about whether she's recruiting or not, guys. I'm talking about money saved back into her jeans that she's got because she's an Xplocial member. There's no other company that offers the value that we do with a small little tiny team of 88 people, guys, to make $100,000 per year. Now, I will tell you this, that is a collective team effort. That's not you going out and getting 88 people. That's the size of your pay line because every person is going to be sending you 3 people each. So take that 88, divide that by 3, now you're down to 29. Divide that by 3 again, now you're down to about 10. So visualize a little tiny boardroom with people, 10 people sitting around a table. That's your gateway to financial freedom. So guys, you've got Darren Little here with the MLM Superheroes. Reach back out to the person that invited you to this particular broadcast. Take action. Get involved with our team. And I look forward to seeing you at the top. Bye for now.